What's up, everyone? I am back, and that means it's time for another edition of Mute Me. Alexis Nunes here with Gaurav, Dustin, and Raunak. Look at this feisty bunch ready to go. This is ESPNcricinfo's favorite debate show here. We're going to be arguing a lot of topics, but specifically now about the feisty series that's going on down under between Australia and India. I know these gents have a lot of hard topics they want to get to, and so we're going to get straight to them. Just a quick reminder of the rule. They will have 60 seconds within which to present their arguments. However, after 15 seconds, if the other two panelists are not buying the argument, they can hold up their mute sign. 2 mutes means you gotta shut up. Ready, gents?
Yeah.
Let's start off with the stat man from Statland, Gaurav. What is your argument?
Okay, so my topic is India need to hand T. Natarajan a debut in the 4th test. One of the main reasons is that India have not given a left-arm pacer a debut for a very long time. The last left-hander was, I think, Jaydev Unadkat way back almost 10 years ago. So the fact that will add some variety. If there's no Bumrah in the 4th test, you have this Saini, Siraj, and maybe Shardul Thakur. So I think India, by having a left-arm fast bowler, I think it might really help even create a rough for R. Ashwin if required, and that might actually help India slightly compete better. And the fact is that they've done exceedingly well, and I'm just giving another opportunity for India to go 2-1 up.
There it is with 19 seconds to go. Gaurav got muted. Raunak, of course, had to be the first one in his true lawyer form. Raunak, what weren't you buying about his argument?
It was so expected, right? Gaurav Sundararaman is going to bring in the Tamil Nadu card. I thought over the years what the IPL has done for Gaurav, at least he'd be more inclined to go CSK than Tamil Nadu, and therefore Shardul Thakur would be the preferred option for him. I know he doesn't speak of any parochial bias as such. He comes from a place of cricket objectivity, but Natarajan's played 12 first-class games. There is absolutely nothing to suggest that he should outrank Shardul Thakur in red ball cricket, who's played a significantly more amount of cricket than him. We should not fall into the folly that IPL form or white ball form can be considered for test cricket overseas. Natarajan's a great bowler. I'm sure he'll do well in a lot of formats. Maybe he'll even grow into a great test bowler. But in what is a series decider, you go with experience. It's as simple as that.
The way the series has been going, which has defied cricketing logic, I think this also could be something which defies cricketing logic, and maybe Natarajan can get a fifer, and then we'll do another mute me.
Fair. We'll keep it at that then. We'll see. All right.
It's not happening. Don't worry. It's not happening.
Tim Paine level sledging from Gaurav.
Which is not a compliment, as Dustin would.
Funny you should say that, Gaurav, because that's where we're going to go next. If you're tired of hearing from Raunak yet, well, that's your problem, not ours, because he is up next and he's got an interesting topic that I can't wait for him to get into, Raunak, because we may finally agree on something. So, Raunak, what is your argument?
My argument, Alexis, in the aftermath of Sydney is that Tim Paine's apology is more disappointing than his behavior. Now, here's the thing. What is Tim Paine guilty of? He's at worst guilty of a few pretty ordinary schoolboyish sledges. Oh, my teammates like me better than you. There was no significant abuse directed. There must have been a few cuss words thrown here and there. But that's not something to be apologizing for as the Australian captain. The day got to you, the situation got to you, you tried a few mind games, it didn't work, and you looked silly because you were the one who dropped the catch. Okay, no problem, it's done. Ricky Ponting didn't apologize for 2007-8 Sydney, did he? And that was perhaps warranted far more than what Tim Paine has done. So it's not Tim Paine's fault that everyone calls him a nice guy. Tim Paine never came and said, I'm a nice guy, I'm a nice guy. That's the whole thing built by the media in Cricket Australia. So he has nothing to apologize for. I don't like this soft Australian captain, that's being projected to just make everyone smile and think we're a different bunch after Cape Town. So whatever happened. He could have at worst said, yeah, my emotions got the better of me. That's it. No reason to apologize, Tim Paine.
And a beautiful, eloquent argument there, Raunak. And shock, I didn't think anyone was going to have a fault with that, but somebody did, and it's Dustin. Dustin, what didn't you like about that argument?
Raunak, Conor McGregor's fighting on January 23rd. You might want to watch that instead of cricket. No, listen, let's give Tim Paine credit. I mean, he's come out and he's apologized because he did use one abusive word on the stump. Mike, and I agree that in past India-Australia series, this would have been nothing. But if anything, it shows how far we've come, that even something so innocuous has gotten an apology out of Tim Paine. He's trying to set an example for young kids. So let's give him credit for it.
Can I respond to that?
Of course.
Oh, so why am I even asking? It's almost like I'm in Tim Paine mode. I'm being so polite. I'm asking Alexis, can I respond? No, I get what you mean, Dustin. But again, like I said, that I just think it comes across as soft. I'm not saying that the way to play is literally to have a go and abuse and rattle. No place for abuse in the game. But like what I observed of Tim Paine was someone who was clearly trying to get under the batsman's skin. There's nothing wrong with that. If he wasn't the Australian captain, if it was Matthew Wade doing that, I don't think anyone would even expect an apology. And I don't think anyone would be disappointed if they didn't get an apology.
All right, we'll leave it at that then. Gaurav didn't have anything to say.
Raunak is that person on Instagram who's the only person to dislike Kane Williamson's posts.
Nonsense. Is that your topic? Is that your topic, Dustin?
Is that even allowed? I don't even know if that's allowed. You should never dislike anything Kane Williamson. The man is God's gift to the world. All right. I'm glad I had no arguments there. Final topic now, and keeping, of course, with the feistiness that's going on down under in this Australia-India series. If you thought that on the pitch it was a hot mess, there's a lot of stuff going on around it with the pandemic. So, Dustin, what is your topic?
My topic is that the fourth test of the BORDER-GAVASKAR trophy should have been played in Sydney, as was reportedly the desire of some members of the Indian contingent. Now, I know that when an India team says that they want to change a schedule, the automatic reaction is to paint them as bullies and say that, hey, they're, spoiled and overpaid, and they're trying to use the power of their board to bully the other boards and shift things around. And it's the same thing for the Australian players. But let's remember, this Indian team has been on the road for 5.5 months now. They've had a week of quarantine in the UAE, then they had 2 weeks of quarantine in Sydney. And we know that we talk a lot about mental health of players these days. These things can affect players' mental health. And even though some of the anxieties may have seemed a little bit illogical, such as, there's a new strain of the virus in Brisbane, you have to understand that anxieties can sometimes cause irrational thoughts.
Oh my goodness, you got muted back to back instantly there. I almost want to go with Raunak first, but you know what, Gaurav, you put up that mute sign too. So what were you not buying about that argument?
No, I think the schedule's been set up. India had already agreed to it. And the fact that it's not that India are the only ones in a bubble or anything. I think everybody, even Australia for that matter, a lot of players have played the IPL. They've gone to the UK before the IPL. They've also been in the bubble. I think it's gone so smoothly till now, in terms of without any major cases. And you even had crowds. So I don't think there was any reason to change that. And India have been really amazing, actually, to kind of so far make sure that everything goes smoothly. So, and see, finally, the last test is in Gabba, somewhere where Australia have never even lost a test since 1989, or the early 90s. So the fact is that it would be good that you finish the series there.
I am extremely sympathetic towards this mild inconvenience that the Indian team has had to go through. But I would just put down, correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but there was never an official request made to change.
No, there wasn't.
There was a lot of rambling. There was a lot of BCCI officials giving quips to media.
Anonymous sources.
And therefore, how would you expect Cricket Australia to act on that? If the Indian team made a complaint, or at least made some sort of request formally, and it was denied by Cricket Australia or by the government, then we can understand, right, that it was a call made by somebody. Out here, they've not requested it. So why are we complaining? Why do we expect Cricket Australia on its own to say, no, Sydney, you host it? That's ridiculous. It doesn't work like that. I also have a real problem with the way these officials tend to leave courts for a narrative to be created without actually coming on record to make this a formal issue, even including things like these arguments that we're hearing that, if Australia is roaming around free, why does the team need to quarantine? That's absolute nonsense. You cannot start picking and choosing what rules you follow in these times. I think your topic should have been, Dustin, that housekeeping should have been allowed in the Gabba Test Hotel, rather in the Brisbane Hotel. That could have been, more significant.
Well, that's for the WHO version of Mute Me, Raunak.
Oh, Raunak loves to poke that bear. All right, well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Mute Me, guys. Now it's only time to announce the winner. I've deliberated with my producer, and we have acknowledged the fact that poking the Aussie bear, lion, wombat, kangaroo is always such a dangerous task, but this week's winner did it so eloquently. So, Raunak KAPOOR, congratulations. You have won for your little criticism, albeit rightful criticism, of Tim Paine. So,
I must apologize in advance to Tim Paine because I know he would appreciate that. That I meant I was out of line and I meant no disrespect by saying that.
Oh, stop it!
Yeah.
You know what they say: nice guys finish last. That's what Jose Mourinho says. All right, thank you guys so very much for participating in this edition of Mute Me. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in. Make sure to keep it locked right here on ESPNcricinfo for yet another edition of Mute Me.